Assalamualaikum and hello everyone, my name is Nur and I'm from the IP28. For today's video, we will explain about elasticity. But before that, let me introduce my group member first. We got 4 people in this group, that's it, me, Tunku Nur Isni, Noami Natasha and Nur Shazwani. So without further ado, let's get to the first topic, that is price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand measures the sensitivity of the quantity demanded due to a change in its price. So the formula for this is price elasticity of demand equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. How to apply this formula? So we got a table here that states price of the T, 10 and 12 and quantity demanded 8 and 6. So P1 will be 10, P2 will be 12, Q1 will be 8 and Q2 will be 6. So the formula we will use PET equal to P2 minus P1 divided by P1 divided by Q2 minus Q1 divided by Q1. Price will increase from 10 to 12, so after we apply this formula, it will be 12 minus 10 divided by 10. It will be 0.2. For the quantity demanded, it will decrease from 8 to 6. So after we apply this formula, it will be 6 minus 8 divided by 8 equal to negative 0.25. So PET will be 0.2 divided by negative 0.25 equal to negative 0.8. Next is degree of price elasticity of demand. We got 5 degrees, that's it. The first one is elastic demand, the second one is inelastic demand, the third one is unitary elastic demand, the fourth one is perfectly inelastic demand, and the last one is perfectly inelastic demand. So the first one is elastic demand. ED will be more than 1. So it means that a small percentage of change in price of a good will lead to a larger percentage of change in the quantity demanded. The second one is inelastic demand. ED will be less than 1. It means that a larger percentage of change in the price of a good will only affect a small percentage of change in quantity demanded. So the third one is unitary elastic demand. So ED will equal to 1. It's a condition in which the percentage of change in price will equal to percentage change in quantity demanded. So the third one is perfectly inelastic demand. So ED will equal to 0. A condition in which the quantity demanded does not change as the price change. And the last one is perfectly elastic demand. So ED will equal to infinity. It's a condition in which a small percentage of change in price will lead to an infinite percentage of change in quantity demanded. Alright, next we got determinant of price elasticity of demand. So we got 8 determinant here. The first one is existence of substitute. The second one is proportion of the expenditure on a product. The third one is income level. The fourth one is nature of good. The fifth one is time dimension. The sixth one is habits. The seventh one is complementary goods. And the last one is frequently purchased products. So that's all from me. So I will pass to Tunku Nur Isni.
Hi, my name is Tunku Nur Isni binti Raja Muhammad. I'm from the IB2A. Today I want to present about the income elasticity of demand. First of all, we go to the definition of income elasticity of demand. Definition of income elasticity of demand is measure the sensitivity or responsiveness of the quantity demanded due to a change in income. Next, we go to the response of income elasticity. Response of income elasticity have 4. First, elastic income. Luxury goods such as antique furniture and diamonds. 2. Inelastic income. Normal goods such as food and clothing. 3. Negative income elasticity. Given such as used car and low-grade potatoes. And the last one is a zero-income elasticity, necessity goods such as rice and vegetables. Importance of income elasticity of demand. The concept of income elasticity of demand can be used for forecasting demand for a product over a period. Therefore, it helps in estimating the required production level of different commodities at a certain point of time in the future. Last but not least, we go to the determinants. First, availability of substitute goods. The more possible substitutes there are for a given good or service, the greater the elasticity. When several close substitutes are available, consumers can easily switch from one good to another even if there is only a small change in price. Second, a luxury good or service is one whose income elasticity exceeds unity. A necessity is one whose income elasticity is less than unity. A luxury good or service is one whose income elasticity exceeds unity. A necessity is one whose income elasticity is less than unity. Third, proportion of income spent. A price rise, like a decrease in income, means that people cannot afford to buy the same quantities. The greater the proportion of income spent on a good, the more elastic in demand for the good. 4. How much time has elapsed since the time the price changed? The longer the time that has passed since the price change, the more elastic is demand. The larger the proportion of income spent on the good, the more elastic is demand because a price change has a large, noticeable impact on the budget. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Jazani from class DIB 2A. I'm going to present about cross-elasticity of demand. What is cross-elasticity of demand? Cross-elasticity of demand is measure the sensitivity or responsiveness of the quantity demanded of one product due to a change in the price of a related product. They have formula 2. So next is responses of cross-elasticity. They have 3 responses of cross-elasticity. One is positive cross-elasticity, which is good X and Y are substitute goods. Second one is negative cross-elasticity, which is good X and Y are complementary goods. The last one is zero cross-elasticity, which is good X and Y have no relationship. The next topic is importance of cross-elasticity of demand. For business, XCD is an important strategic tool. This elasticity measure can help determine whether or not it is a good move to increase or decrease selling price, or to substitute one product for another to generate greater revenue. Last but not least, in my topic is determinants. They have 2 determinants of cross-elasticity of demand. First is substitute good. Substitute good have a positive price elasticity. As the price of one good increase, the demand for the other good increase. Independent good have a cross price elasticity of 0. As the price of one good increase, the demand for the second good is unchanged. The next is complementary goods. Complementary goods have a negative relationship with each other, which means that one product X increase in price, demand for product Y falls. This is because fewer people buy product X due to the higher price. As a result, fewer people are also buying product Y, which only adds value to product X. value to products. Yeah. So that's all from me. Next topic will be explained by my next teammate. So thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Amira Natasha and I'm from the IB2A. So for the last point, I'll be presenting to you about the price elasticity of supply. The price elasticity of supply is a measure used in economics to show the responsiveness or elasticity of the quantity supplied of a good or service to change in its price. The elasticity is represented in numerical form and is defined as the percentage change in the quantity supplied divided by the percentage change in price. An elasticity of 0 indicates that quantity supplied doesn't respond to a price change. The good is fixed in supply. Such goods often have no labor component or are not produced, limiting the short-run prospect of expansion. If the elasticity is exactly 1, the good is said to be unit elastic. The quantity of goods supplied can, in the short term, be different from amount produced, as manufacturers will have stock which they can build up and run down. So here's the formula. There are 4 degrees of price elasticity of supply, which is elastic of supply, inelastic of supply, unitary elastic supply, and perfectly inelastic supply. So the first one is elastic supply. When the percentage change in quantity supplied is greater than percentage change in price, the condition is known as relatively elastic supply. This situation, when plotted in graph, makes an upward slope which intersect positive y-axis. Price elasticity can be observed in goods which are necessary in our day-to-day life. For example, clothes, foods, and many more are good examples for these kinds of goods. The second one is inelastic of supply. When quantity supplied remain unchanged with change in price, it is said to be 0 or perfectly inelastic supply. Such situation in graph is represented by a straight line which is parallel to y-axis. This type of price elasticity is expected to be observed in highly essential goods such as medicines. However, as mentioned earlier, perfectness of anything in the economy is rare or impractical. The third one is unitary elastic supply. When percentage change in quantity supplied is exactly equal to percentage change in price, the situation is known as unitary elastic supply. This situation in graph is represented by an upward slope which intersects the origin. The behavior between price and quantity supply of commodity is also known as lockstep movement. The last one is perfectly inelastic supply. When a slight of minimal change in price causes infinite change in quantity supplied, it is said to be infinite or perfectly elastic supply. In a graph, such as in situation, is represented by a straight line which is a parallel to x-axis. This kind of price elasticity is expected to occur in highly luxurious goods. However, perfectness of anything, including perfectly inelastic supply, is considered to be rare in a practical in economy. Next, for degrees of elastic demand, it is a perfectly elastic demand which when there's no change produced in the demand of the product with change in its price. The numerical value for perfectly inelastic demand is 0. Perfectly inelastic demand is a theoretical concept and cannot be applied in a practical situation. However, in case of essential goods such as salt, the demand doesn't change with change in price. Therefore, the demand of essential goods is perfectly inelastic. There are 5 types of determinant of price elasticity of supply, which is the first one is the nature of market. The nature of market is a market that always tries to bring itself to equilibrium. Next is the time period. Time also exerts considerable influence on the elasticity of supply. Supply is more elastic in the long run than in the short run. The reason is easy to find out. The longer the time period, the easier it is to shift resources among products following a change in their relative prices. The third one is technology improvement. Changes in technology can affect the demand for different product or the demand for related product. It can increase the market for a product by increasing the demand for a new product and making an older product obsolete. Going back to the example of how technology affected the prices and supplies of computers, consider the emergence of demand for tablets. While technology improved the quality and lowered the prices for laptops, technology also created a market for tablet with equal performance to laptop but at lower price. The next one is perishability. Perishability is such as fresh fruit. Then supply is more inelastic as you cannot store large quantities in case of an increase in demand. And the last one is availability and mobility of factor of production. Mobility of factor of production in economic may be either vertical or horizontal. The flexibility and adaptability of the economy depends on the mobility of factor. If these factors are not perfectly mobile, it is very difficult to bring changes in the economic system. So that's all from me and my group. Thanks for watching.